Welcome to the North Carolina Press Association Virtual Awards presentation. I'm Paul Mooney, President of the NCPA and President of APG of Tennessee, North Carolina, and Virginia. We know it's not the same as being together and sharing a drink, a lot of laughs, and war stories, but we're going to celebrate the advertising and editorial work done by our more than 160 members this year, just as we have for the last 148 years. While you were all on the front lines covering COVID-19, the elections, managing your own lives, you were still able to enter almost 4,000 entries to the contest this year, and we're thankful for that. We appreciate you taking the time to do all that and for the financial support of this contest, which allows us to properly recognize the fantastic local journalism and advertising work product you all work so hard to produce for your readers and advertisers. Once again, we have Shannon Vickery of PBS North Carolina to MC our ceremony, who will walk you through the video presentation we've put together. Thank you to the West Virginia Press Association for judging our contest, to our sponsors NCPress Foundation, NCPA Federal Credit Union, and Modulist. And once again, thank you to Aviso for the design work on this presentation and to PBS North Carolina for editing and recording it. To say it's been a tough year is by far an understatement, but the association is here, like always, to fight for you. If there is anything we can do for you in 2021, please don't hesitate to reach out and let us know how we can help. Congratulations on your awards, and please enjoy the presentation.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shannon Vickery with PBS North Carolina. Welcome to the annual North Carolina Press Association Awards presentation, coming to you virtually this year. It's been a crazy year, but that could not stop the NCPA annual contest. This year, during one of the busiest times in recent history, all while covering a national election, COVID, and dealing with your own protocols and social distancing, we received almost 4,000 entries submitted by more than 100 newspapers and news organizations. This year, we relied on members of the West Virginia Press Association for judging. We miss seeing all of you and can't wait to get back together again. This would be the point in the night where we'd be gathered around the bar and getting ready for a meal together to celebrate outstanding journalism and advertising from newspapers across the state. Now, you may be in your office, on your couch, or wherever you work from these days. One of the benefits of our format this year is that you can watch this presentation however you'd like, whenever you'd like, and with whomever you'd like. A special thank you to Aviso for work on this year's presentation and online awards directory, and to my colleagues at PBS North Carolina for recording and editing this presentation, and the legislative panel, a highlight of our virtual convention agenda. And finally, to our sponsors, NCPA Federal Credit Union, the North Carolina Press Foundation, and Modulist. Thank you. Here's how you can view this year's presentation. You'll see videos for each division and one for our special awards. You can start by viewing your division, which lists general awards in editorial and advertising categories. By division, we will announce the newspaper, the number of awards received alphabetically, so that you can easily fast forward to find your publication if you'd like. For the special awards, we will announce categories like the Public Service Award and the Hugh Morton Photography Award, ending with this year's General Excellence Awards. You can view our digital awards directory on the NCPA website. The digital version of our awards publication lists all of the winners and judges' comments in each division and category. This replaces the printed awards tab we would hand out at the end of the night. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the presentation. Well, is everyone ready? Now, for the winners in Division A. The Anson Record wins 4 awards, 2 third place and 2 second place awards in editorial categories. The Ash Post and Times wins 5 awards, 2 third place, 2 second, and 1 first place in advertising categories. The Avery Journal-Times wins 3 awards, 2 third place and 1 first place in editorial categories. The Bertie Ledger Advance wins 6 awards, 1 third place in editorial categories and 2 third place, 1 second place, and 2 first place in advertising categories. The Blowing Rocket wins 1 first place in editorial categories. The Cherokee One Feather wins 21 awards, 1 third place, 10 second place, and 6 first place in editorial categories, and 1 third place in advertising categories. The Cherokee Scout wins 12 awards, 4 third place, 5 second place, and 3 first place in editorial categories. The Chowan Herald wins 8 awards, 3 third place, 2 second place, and 3 first place in editorial categories. The Clemens Courier wins 1 second place award in editorial categories. The Crossroads Chronicle wins 9 awards, 2 third place and 1 second place in editorial categories, and 1 third place, 3 second place, and 2 first place in advertising categories. The Elkin Tribune wins 7 awards, 3 third place, 1 second place in advertising, and 1 second place and 2 first place in editorial categories. The Graham Star wins 5 awards, 3 third place and 2 first place in editorial categories. The Hendersonville Lightning wins 5 awards, 2 third place, 1 second place, and 2 first place in editorial categories. The Highlander wins 11 awards, 1 second place in editorial categories, and 3 second place and 7 first place awards in advertising categories. The Johnstonian News wins 6 awards, 2 third place, 2 second place, and 2 first place in editorial categories. The Lake Gaston Gazette Observer wins 4 awards, 1 third place, 1 second place, and 2 first place in editorial categories. The Mebane Enterprise wins 1 third place in editorial categories. The Mount Olive Tribune wins 1 third place in editorial categories. The News Journal wins 7 awards, 2 third place, 2 second place, and 2 first place in editorial categories. The North State Journal wins 19 awards, 4 third place, 7 second place, and 9 first place in editorial categories. The Perquimans Weekly wins 3 awards, 1 second place and 2 first place in editorial categories. The Smoky Mountain Times wins 10 awards, 4 third place, 4 second place, and 2 first place in editorial categories. The Spring Hope Enterprise wins 4 awards, 1 third place, 1 second place, and 2 first place in editorial categories. The Yadkin Ripple wins 5 awards, 2 third place, 1 second place, and 2 first place in advertising categories. Here are the award winners for Division B. The Alamance News wins 4 awards, 2 third place, 1 second place, and 1 first place in editorial categories. The Bladen Journal wins 7 awards, 1 third place, 4 second place, and 2 first place in editorial categories. The Brunswick Beacon wins 5 awards, 1 third place, and 4 first place in editorial categories. The Butner Creedmoor News wins 8 awards, 5 third place, and 3 second place in editorial categories. The Chatham News and Record wins 24 awards, 6 third place, 6 second place, and 11 first place in editorial categories, and 1 first place in advertising categories. The Courier Times wins 11 awards, 3 third place, 1 second place, and 1 first place in editorial categories, and 3 second place and 3 first place in advertising categories. The Davie County Enterprise Record wins 3 awards, 1 third place, and 2 second place in editorial categories. The Martin County Enterprise and Weekly Herald wins 5 awards, 1 third place, 2 second place, and 2 first place in editorial categories. The News of Orange County wins 3 awards, 2 second place, and 1 first place in editorial categories. The News Recorder and Sentinel wins 1 third place in editorial categories. The Oxford Public Ledger wins 1 first place in editorial categories. The Queen City Nerve wins 5 awards, 2 second place, and 3 first place in editorial categories. The State Port Pilot wins 56 awards, 12 third place, 11 second place, and 10 first place in advertising categories, and 3 third place, 10 second place, and 10 first place in editorial categories. The Stokes News wins 4 awards, 1 third place and 1 second place in editorial categories, and 1 second place and 1 first place in advertising categories. The Silva Herald and Ruralite wins 5 awards, 2 third place and 3 second place in editorial categories. The Triangle Business Journal wins 1 third place award in editorial categories. The Up and Coming Weekly wins 3 awards, 1 third place and 1 second place in the advertising categories, and 1 first place in editorial categories. The Wake Weekly wins 7 awards, 4 third place, 1 second place, and 2 first place in editorial categories. The Watauga Democrat wins 7 awards, 3 third place, 1 second place, and 1 first place in editorial categories, and 1 second place and 1 first place in advertising categories. The Winston-Salem Chronicle wins 2 awards, 1 third place and 1 first place in editorial categories. Now, on to Division C. The 27587 magazine wins 4 awards, 1 third place, 1 second place, and 2 first place in editorial categories. The Carteret County News-Times wins 1 third place in editorial categories. The Enquirer Journal wins 2 awards, 1 third place, and 1 second place in editorial categories. The Franklin Press wins 6 awards, 3 second place and 3 first place in editorial categories. The Herald Citizen wins 1 third place in editorial categories. The Independent Tribune wins 4 awards, 2 third place and 2 first place in editorial categories. The Indy Week wins 8 awards, 1 third place, 1 second place, and 6 first place in editorial categories. The Mountain Express wins 7 awards, 1 second place and 2 first place in editorial categories, and 1 third place and 3 second place in advertising categories. The Mountaineer wins 7 awards, 4 second place and 3 first place in editorial categories. The News Reporter wins 14 awards, 4 third place, 5 second place, and 5 first place in editorial categories. The Outer Banks Milepost wins 7 awards, 4 second place, and 3 first place in editorial categories. The Pilot wins 40 awards, 8 third place, 7 second place, and 9 first place in advertising categories, and 3 third place, 9 second place, and 4 first place in advertising categories. The Roanoke Chowan News Herald wins 3 awards, 1 third place, 1 second place, and 1 first place in editorial categories. The Rockingham Now wins 3 awards, 1 third place, 1 second place, and 1 first place in editorial categories. The Smoky Mountain News wins 22 awards, 13 third place, 3 second place, and 6 first place in editorial categories. The Stanley News and Press wins 5 awards, 4 third place, and 1 first place in editorial categories. The Wilkes Journal Patriot wins 4 awards, 2 third place, 1 second place, and 1 first place in editorial categories. Yes Weekly wins 21 awards, 4 third place, 4 second place, and 5 first place in advertising categories, and 4 third place and 3 second place and 1 first place in editorial categories. Now on to Division D. The Courier Tribune wins 4 awards, 2 third place, 1 second place, and 1 first place in editorial categories. The Daily Advance wins 6 awards, 1 third place, 3 second place, and 1 first place in advertising categories, and 1 first place in editorial categories. The Daily Herald wins 3 awards, 1 third place, 1 second place, and 1 first place in editorial categories. The Jacksonville Daily News wins 8 awards, 1 third place in advertising categories, and 1 third place, 4 second place, and 2 first place in editorial categories. The Daily Record wins 13 awards, 1 third place, 1 second place, and 2 first place in editorial categories, and 4 second place and 5 first place in advertising categories. The Dispatch wins 3 third place awards in editorial categories. The Kinston Free Press wins 9 awards, 2 third place, 1 second place, and 2 first place in advertising categories, and 2 third place and 2 second place in editorial categories. The Gaston Gazette wins 6 awards, 1 third place, 4 second place, and 1 first place in editorial categories. The Goldsboro News Argus wins 1 third place award in editorial categories. The Hickory Daily Record wins 9 awards, 2 third place, 4 second place, and 3 first place in editorial categories. The High Point Enterprise wins 24 awards, 3 third place, 3 second place, and 2 first place in advertising categories, and 3 third place, 5 second place, and 8 first place in editorial categories. The Mount Airy News wins 16 awards, 3 third place, 4 second place, and 6 first place in advertising categories, and 1 third place and 2 second place in editorial categories. The News Herald wins 6 awards, 4 third place, 1 second place, and 1 first place in editorial categories. The Lenore News Topic wins 2 awards, 1 third place, and 1 first place in editorial categories. The Richmond County Daily Journal wins 2 second place awards in editorial categories. The Robertsonian wins 2 awards, 1 third place, and 1 second place in advertising categories. The Rocky Mount Telegram wins 3 third place awards in editorial categories. The Shelby Star wins 5 awards, 1 third place, 1 second place, and 3 first place in editorial categories. The Sun Journal wins 16 awards, 1 third place, and 1 second place in advertising categories, and 6 third place, 4 second place, and 4 first place in editorial categories. The Burlington Times News wins 3 awards, 1 second place and 2 first place in editorial categories. The Henderson Times News wins 4 awards, 2 third place, 1 second place, and 1 first place in editorial categories. The Washington Daily News wins 6 awards, 2 third place, 1 second place, and 3 first place in editorial categories. The Wilson Times wins 18 awards, 3 third place, 6 second place, and 9 first place awards in editorial categories. Now, on to Division E. The Asheville Citizen-Times wins 14 awards, 7 third place, 4 second place, and 3 first place in editorial categories. The Daily Reflector wins 23 awards, 2 third place, 5 second place, and 7 first place in advertising categories, and 3 third place, 2 second place, and 4 first place in editorial categories. The Fayetteville Observer wins 20 awards, 9 third place, 6 second place, and 5 first place in editorial categories. The Herald Sun wins 18 awards, 6 third place, 8 second place, and 4 first place in editorial categories. The Salisbury Post wins 17 awards, 4 third place, 6 second place, and 7 first place in editorial categories. The Star News wins 40 awards, 9 third place, 14 second place, and 17 first place in editorial categories. Now, on to Division F. The Charlotte Observer wins 29 awards, 8 third place, 8 second place, and 13 first place in editorial categories. The News and Observer wins 35 awards, 10 third place awards, 11 second place, and 14 first place in editorial categories. The News and Record wins 18 awards, 6 third place, 8 second place, and 4 first place in editorial categories. The Winston-Salem Journal wins 36 awards, 15 third place, 12 second place, and 9 first place in editorial categories. Now, on to Division O. The Bladen Journal wins 15 awards, 2 third place, 4 second place, and 2 first place in editorial categories, and 1 second place, and 6 first place in advertising categories. The Blowing Rock News wins 12 awards, 4 third place, 2 second place, and 6 first place in editorial categories. The Carolina Journal wins 5 awards, 2 third place, 2 second place, and 1 first place in editorial categories. The Carolina Public Press wins 7 awards, 2 third place, 4 second place, and 1 first place in editorial categories. The Coastal Review Online wins 5 awards, 2 third place, 1 second place, and 2 first place in editorial categories. Education NC wins 8 awards, 3 third place, 3 second place, and 2 first place in editorial categories. The Island Free Press wins 19 awards, 1 third place, 2 second place, and 2 first place in advertising categories, and 3 third place, 6 second place, and 5 first place in editorial categories. The Local Voice Media wins 7 awards, 2 second place, and 5 first place in editorial categories. NC Policy Watch wins 7 awards, 4 second place, and 3 first place in editorial categories. NC Health News wins 13 awards, 8 third place, and 5 first place in editorial categories. NewOldNorth.com wins 5 awards, 1 third place, 1 second place, and 3 first place in editorial categories. The Ocracoke Observer wins 4 awards, 1 third place, and 3 second place in editorial categories. The Richmond Observer wins 11 awards, 3 third place, 4 second place, and 4 first place in editorial categories. The NC Insider wins 1 first place award in editorial categories. It is now my pleasure to announce the special awards for the NCPA 2020 contest. The Henry Lee Weathers Freedom of Information Award honors journalists or newspapers for exceptional work in advancing or upholding the cause of freedom of information. It also recognizes excellence in reporting about access to government-held information and the First Amendment. Awards are given in community, daily, and online divisions. This award is sponsored by the Associated Press. For community newspapers, Miles Layton, the Perquimans Weekly, for coverage and editorials on taxpayer-funded trips by town council members and calls for reform to the town hall's travel policy. Public records requests led to the uncovering of costs associated with travel and led to a halt of any new council travel, as well as a review of the town's finances and a revision of the travel policy. The judges commented that this is a great example of using the press to protect readers' and taxpayers' interests and holding public officials' feet to the fire. It was nice to see that some oversights unearthed by the paper resulted in positive and forward-thinking change for the town. In the daily division, the staff of the News and Observer. For while you were sleeping, North Carolina legislators restrict access to public records. The judge commented that these reports represent true watchdog journalism, keeping a close eye on those in power and holding them accountable to the public when things such as this state House bill don't seem quite right. Calling attention to SB 168 also resulted in the protection of important public records. And in the online division, the staff of Carolina Public Press for nursing home outbreak transparency. The judges commented that this collection of reports from Carolina Public Press goes a long way toward explaining to the readers in simple language, minus any PR spin, what is known and not known about what's happening in long-term care facilities. The successes these reporters achieved shines a light on specific areas of concern revealed through public records requests. Our next award recognizes stories based on the publication of a public notice. Keeping public notices in print where the public expects to see them has been a major advocacy effort of ours for years. So it is with great enthusiasm that we actually recognize stories that remind us how important these notices are to our communities and readers. For coverage on USDA redacts info about secretive Chatham County poultry farm, Lisa Sorg of NC Policy Watch. The judges had the following comment: "Great job of digging into a story that likely wouldn't have seen the light of day but through this effort. Thorough and relevant." It's now my pleasure to recognize the newspapers that won Public Service Awards. Awards are given in community, daily, and online divisions. In the community newspapers division, the award goes to the staff of the Mountaineer for overall coverage. In the daily division, the staff of the Winston-Salem Journal for coverage of rising violence in Winston-Salem. And in the online division, for changing minds on climate science, the Coastal Review Online. This next award honors Hugh Morton, the owner of Grandfather Mountain, who is best known for his passion for photography. Hugh Morton helped start the North Carolina Photographers Association, and his pictures have appeared in Time, Life, and National Geographic magazines, as well as in countless newspapers. The award, sponsored by the Mountain Times publications in Boone, recognizes a photographer's body of work for the contest year. It is the most prestigious photography award we give. Our Hugh Morton Photographer of the Year in the Community Newspaper Division, from the Outer Banks Milepost, Daniel Pullen. Our Hugh Morton Photographer of the Year in the Daily Newspaper Division, from the Winston-Salem Journal, Andrew Dye. Next, with special thanks from the North Carolina Bar Association, we present this year's Media and Law Awards. Best Community Newspaper Article, Christy Bailey of the Alamance News. Best Daily Newspaper Article, Olivia Neely of the Wilson Times. Best Online Article, Mark Hibbs of Coastal Review. All publications, Best Series goes to Virginia Bridges of the Herald Sun. Sponsored by Metro Creative Graphics, each year we present a sweepstakes award for the most points won across all advertising categories. This year's winners are The Highlander in Division A, The State Port Pilot in Division B, The Pilot in Division C, The Mount Airy News in Division D, The Daily Reflector in Division E, and The Bladen Online in Division O. All right, everyone, it's finally time to announce the results of General Excellence in print and online. So without any further ado, we'll start with community newspapers in Division A. General Excellence for websites. Third place, Cherokee Scout. Second place, Cherokee One Feather. First place, Hendersonville Lightning. Overall General Excellence. Third place, Cherokee One Feather. Second place, Spring Hope Enterprise. First place, North State Journal. In the Community Newspapers Division B, General Excellence for website. Third place, Watauga Democrat. Second place, Bladen Journal. First place, Chatham News and Record. Overall General Excellence. Third place, Triangle Business Journal. Second place, Chatham News and Record. First place, State Port Pilot. In Community Division C, General Excellence for websites. Third place, The News Reporter. Second place, Smoky Mountain News. First place, The Mountaineer. Overall General Excellence. Third place, Stanley News and Press. Second place, Smoky Mountain News. First place, The Pilot. General Excellence in online-only organizations. Website only. Third place, Coastal Review Online. Second place, Carolina Public Press. First place, Ocracoke Observer. Overall General Excellence. Third place, Blowing Rock News. Second place, Coastal Review Online. First place, Carolina Public Press. Now we'll move on to dailies. In Division D, General Excellence for Websites. Third place, Shelby Star. Second place, Richmond County Daily Journal. First place, Washington Daily News. Overall General Excellence. Third place, Wilson Times. Second place, Goldsboro News Argus. First place, Washington Daily News. In Division E, General Excellence for Websites. Third place, Star News. Second place, Salisbury Post. First place, the Herald Sun. Overall General Excellence. Third place, Fayetteville Observer. Second place, the Herald Sun. First place, Star News. In the largest daily division, F, General Excellence for Websites. Third place, Charlotte Observer. Second place, the Winston-Salem Journal. First place, the News and Observer. Overall General Excellence. Third place, Winston-Salem Journal. Second place, News and Observer. First place, Charlotte Observer. That concludes the awards for the 2020 contest, presented on Friday, February 26, 2021. Congratulations once again to all of our award winners. Thank you for supporting the North Carolina Press Association. Be safe, and we hope to see you all in person next year.